70-20-10 theory is largely attributed to Lombardo and Aichinger. This concept states that when looking at the way in which people learn within the workplace, 10% is learned through formal learning, 20% through informal discussions, and 70% is learned through on-the-job experiences. This can have significant impact on organizational learning when you consider 80% of training budgets are spent on formal learning, while 80% of what people actually learn is informal. Jennings points out this has been known for more than 100 years, and cites an 1885 experiment, known as the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve, which concludes humans forget half of what they have been taught within an hour of receiving it, unless we have the opportunity to practice it within that hour. The NMC Horizon Report, 2013, identifies two other key trends that lend weight to this approach to organizational learning: the increasing interest in using technologies to personalize the learning experience, and the shifting of educational paradigms to include online learning, hybrid learning, and collaborative models. The 70-20-10 learning principle has become popular with organizations as it's a more efficient use of both time and money. It is vital to include frontline managers in the development of this type of learning because much of the 70 and 20 that happens in the workplace requires their involvement. They can provide the new experiences, opportunities to practice, new roles and job swaps, which can enable the important experiential components of workplace learning. This way of learning also opens up new channels for learning, such as mobile learning and collaborative learning. Much of what has been discussed here is informal learning, which is largely self-directed. So while it's difficult to manage informal learning, it is possible to provide the right resources, at the right time, in the right medium to enable learners to self-pace on the job. Traditionally, organizations put most of their training resources into formal training. These would include things like formal face-to-face training, structured online courses and competence testing. However, research suggests these types of approaches only account for 10% of what people learn at work. 20% of what people learn is through informal discussion. Organizations can enable more of this type of learning by creating mentoring and buddying systems for staff to learn new skills, or encourage the use of technologies to share ideas, such as online discussion forums, FAQ pages, blog posts, or the use of social media for exchanging ideas. 70% of what people learn is experiential, which means learning on the job. Managers can have significant influence in this area to enable better learning in the workplace. Effective learning strategies include working in teams, job swapping, or bringing project teams together for time-limited projects. You can also use technologies to enhance learning within the workplace. For example, making refresher material available online, creating self-paced online courses, or sharing helpful tips for specific roles. There is much research to suggest it is in the interest of organizations to really invest in systems that enable staff to learn effectively while on the job. Engaging frontline managers in this process is essential in successfully implementing the 70 and 20 elements of this model.
Well, that one, I really like that, yeah. Well, that one, I really like that, yeah.